go ahead.
We're going to have very strong policing, and it's pretty easy to do. If parts are made in America and a car isn't, those parts are not going to be taxed or tariffed.
The increase in tariffs by Donald Trump on automakers and auto component manufacturers is going to create a lot of dilemma. So on one side, we can say that protectionism is on the rise. Everybody is looking for making their own markets. And on the other side, the hike of 25%, which has been announced, will clearly create a lot of turmoil, a lot of uncertainty in the market. So obviously, when we talk about exports of vehicles from India to US, there won't be much impact on cars. But if we talk about two-wheelers, we have players like Royal Enfield, which exports to US, which will get impacted by this hike. On the other side, we have component manufacturers like Sonokoa, like Bharat Forge, like Motherson Sumi, which exports to US or North America. So primarily, if we talk about some numbers, some statistics here, so India exports almost $22 billion parts, and almost 1/3 of it is consumed by North America. So primarily, the hikes are only from Trump, but at the end of the day, Canada and Mexico are also facing equal problem. So it's the time for uncertainty in the market. Obviously, component manufacturers may not get directly impacted, but one thing is very clear: with the increase in these tariffs, there will be redefined in the supply chains, there will be rerouting, and the consumer preference will change, which can indirectly impact the component manufacturers. And one thing is that every component manufacturer will take new investments, very seriously when it comes to exports, to these markets. And moreover, from India perspective, I think now these manufacturers have to push more volumes in India to sustain the overall production levels. So which also means, that we may see some more aggressive discounting in the market, typically in two-wheelers, or primarily, where the models which are being exported, but otherwise in cars, so because Ford and GM have already exited and India long time back, and there is not much of cars export